All right, on 20 through 23, we have several equations, and we need to determine which method is appropriate to solve the equation and then solve it. So let's go over the methods first and see if we can determine what method would be appropriate for each of these. So on 20, we have a quantity being squared. When you're trying to get rid of the squared and solve for x, we can square root. So this is the square root method. Number 21, the equation has a square root in it. So if we wanted to undo that square root eventually, we could square both sides. So that's s for squaring. Number 22, there are multiple methods to solve it. You can always use quadratic formula to solve a problem. But let's check first to see if it's factorable. So negative 35 and negative 2 is factorable. So this is negative 7 and positive 5. So we could easily factor this expression and solve for x. So I'm going to say this is factoring. Number 23, we can check if it's factorable, but it's not. So rather than trying to factor it, we could use quadratic formula to solve for x. All right, so I'm not going to go over 22 and 23 any further, but let's look at number 20, square root method, since it's been a while since we've done those. We need to isolate x. So first step here is to add 1 to both sides of the equation. So that's equal to 36. Before we can use the square root method, we need to isolate what's being squared. So let's divide by 9 and isolate the squared portion. So x minus 2 squared equals 4. Now we can square root both sides to get rid of that squared. So this is x minus 2 equals, this could be positive or negative 2. And then we get x equals, if we add 2 to the side, that's 2 plus or minus 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 minus 2 would give us 0. So we have two solutions to this equation.